I'm Jenny Fern. Welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. Today, I have so much laundry that I need to fold, so I thought I would do like a Q&A. Super chill. I'm just gonna answer some random questions that are bookish related. I'm gonna fold my laundry. It's gonna be kind of live stream vibes, but I'm too much of a pansy to live stream and don't have enough people to ask questions, so we're gonna make it up. The first question, as I fold my very favorite sweatshirt that is getting a little too worn. It is a Christmas sweatshirt with a collar that has a cat snowman, and that is just the most comfortable sweatshirt in the world. Plus I love how red and black look on me. I am wearing my red sweatpants as well. So what is a book that felt like it was written just for you? I love so many books, and I don't know if there's anything that's like absolutely me. I'm sure I've mentioned books that feel like me on a page, but the book that's coming to mind is The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake. Even though I really don't have like a ton of similarities with that story's like predicament, it's a bit of like, basically the members of her family are struggling with various like internal struggles, mental health struggles, and they have like powers, but the powers are very muted. And I just feel like it really captured the feeling that I had as a kid growing up and just having like a very uncomfortable home and like uncomfortable upbringing. And I feel like it really portrayed mental illness or mental health issues in a way that resonated with me quite a lot. This is a blue dress. I'm thinking of getting into blue more. I really want to dye my hair blue, but I cannot anytime soon just because I have to go to a conference, an engineering conference at the end of the month, and I definitely can't be too unprofessional for that. So I will simply wait, I guess. Even though I really, really want to, like, I'm pretty impulsive. If I didn't have that conference to think about, I would definitely have dyed my hair blue by now. Have you ever picked up a book purely because the colors matched your vibe that week? I love that question. I picked up a children's book from the thrift store because it was red, white, and black. And as we've already established, I'm into that color combo sometimes. Oh my god, I just realized I have holes here. I have a hole here and here on this shirt now. So I really only wear this shirt when it's under a sweater already. But yeah, this shirt is like really damaged now. I should repair it. Yeah, so I got this book called Emily the Strange from a thrift store in the hopes that I could put it in my little free library, and I did, and it did get picked up. But when I actually read through the children's book, I really didn't like it. I was like pretty annoyed by the content of the book, actually. Also, Idaho by Emily Ruskovich was a pure cover buy because I thought it was such a pretty cover, and then the plot, I had no idea what the plot of the book was. And it was so much darker than what I thought it would be. And the writing was so phenomenal that I actually ended up really liking it, even though I don't think I can ever reread it just because of how dark the content was. Do you think your reading taste has gotten cozier or weirder over time? That is a really good question. Over time, so my evolution as a reader, high school, I didn't read that much outside of my required reading. I did like a little bit of reading, but not a ton. And I did read a lot of required reading in high school just because I did like AP classes and stuff like that. So I did read quite a lot of literature from that. Then I got into science fiction and classics. So I read a lot of classic science fiction because that's what was available in the public domain that I was interested in. I also read a lot of classic children's fiction because similarly I was more interested in it. And then I started getting stuff from the library. I went through a phase where I was really reading stuff that was recommended on BookTube, and I did not really enjoy my time doing that because I didn't really understand my taste yet. So I read like Cinder, I read like all of that series. I read Dorothy Must Die series, which I hated, and like a whole bunch of things that I just really was not super into, but I did read a few key things that I was into that helped with like understanding what I'm actually interested in. And since then, I think I've gotten, I'm like a little bit normal in my reading taste now. I'm not like super niche in anything, but I do really love like odd short stories. I just got a book from NetGalley. I can't remember what it's called, so I'll put it up on the screen. One of the short stories, the people turn into jellyfish, like a zombie apocalypse, but with jellyfish. And I love that. So I think like weird little short stories is where I'm kind of like the happiest right now. I think that's also reflected in me enjoying The Dilemmas of Working Women so much. So I think probably on towards the weirder side than the cozier side. I actually get quite bored by something that's like cozy. And I also feel like things that are marketed as cozy aren't actually cozy. They just don't have that much going on in them. So I think probably weirder. Okay, what is my go-to reading outfit right now? It's just gonna be my pajamas, probably. That or like whatever I wear out in the garden. I haven't been doing a ton of gardening recently because the sun is starting to set earlier. So, yeah, I don't know. I wear my pajamas, which are just like really soft pajamas. Speaking of outfits recently, I've been so obsessed with like jean jackets. Like I mentioned, I really want that Louis Vuitton jean jacket, which is hopeless. So hopeless, so expensive. I even thought, I was like, I really need a new wallet. Maybe I'll just get a Louis Vuitton wallet to help me feel fancier. And I cannot believe these Louis Vuitton wallets are like $1,000. I'm like, if I bought 3 wallets, I could get the bomber jacket that I really want. I'm not gonna get any of it, but I've just been thinking a lot about like jean jackets and just jackets in general. Thinking about like being more, it's gonna sound so weird, but dressing like a little boy. Like I've been really into the aesthetic of like, I have this one Doug Chandler who was a motorcycle racer who I loved when I was a child. I got his signature and everything. I've been really into the idea of like motorsports outfits and jean jackets. So like I would love one of those fuchsia Pirelli hats. I don't know, I'm feeling like kind of like a fancy boy recently where I just want to like wear fancy boy clothes and like a good pair of thick high-waisted jeans. I don't know. And like a ball cap. I've just been feeling like a fancy lad recently. When's the last time a book made you want to go outside and do something? go outside. When's the last time I read a book? I guess I've been reading a lot, but not at the same time. When's the last time that I went out? I feel like honestly, me going to that punk show made me want to go out and do things and also write. It was very inspiring just for my life in general. So I feel like the opposite has happened, where me going out and doing something has like inspired me not to read as much. So yeah, I went to a punk show. I actually got a huge bruise on my arm, which it's faded significantly. This is like 2 weeks old at this point. I went to see Soft Play, and I'm actually seeing a concert on Monday night. I'm going to see Parcels, which this will be my second time seeing Parcels. And oh my god, that punk show, just literally for like 3 days after, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was so happy, overjoyed for so many hours after that, just like thinking about how good life is that I get to go to punk shows and experience. It's just some of the most pure joy in my life. Yeah, so anyway, and then I was like, oh, I don't need to read. I've actually been writing a story recently. I've been working on a very strange story. So, okay, this is gonna be such a huge tangent. So sorry. I got sucked into watching a whole bunch of stuff about Stray Kids, and I'd been putting it off because I just have no interest in that. And then there must have been something about it that I knew I was just gonna get absolutely sucked into it, and it happened, but my brain got super attached and like went down a rabbit hole with Felix, which it makes sense. He is like a very interesting person because visually he's like he's like a stunningly beautiful person, and then he has like that deep voice, and he's got like an Australian accent, so like there's like a lot of aspects about him that are like interesting to observe. He's like not a super common person. And then I like actually know all of their names. There's 8 of them. I know all of them now. And I really genuinely do not think I can control what I just get hooked onto, because I would not have picked this. I would not have picked Stray Kids just because I'm not super big into the music, to be perfectly honest. And but yeah, now I'm just obsessed, and I was trying to turn that obsession into something like a little bit more helpful, just to not be like forever watching like video clips of them doing like interviews and stuff. I started working on a story about my own characters that I've had in my brain for like eons. I'm gonna go get more clothes and then I can continue on this story. Just be warned, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant about the thing that I'm interested in right now. When I was in college, I took I can't even remember what they were called. Seminar? I think it was called Seminar. Dude, this shirt rips. I feel like I should wear this shirt today, even though I'm already wearing something. Because this, tucked into some high-waisted jeans, is kind of, honestly, the little boy look that I'm talking about. Except I do want, like, little motocross jerseys or something. Hey, Clover. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do that on top of you. Perfect. Let's get dog hair on my clothes. I cannot believe I completely forgot that I have this jacket here. I love this jacket. And I used to wear it like every winter. Or every day in winter. Ah, dude. This jacket rips. I don't need a Louis Vuitton jacket. I have a suede comfy ass jacket from the thrift store. I think I got this when I was in Reno. So I took this seminar, which was just purely an excuse for a bunch of people who really loved writing, but who were not in writing degrees, that they could write whatever they wanted and get credit for it. All they had to do was like continue writing some amount, and we like set our own goals. And the story that I worked on was something that I'd been interested in for years before that as well. It had to do with a band that was like state sponsored, but it's like future world. So there's this monarchy that has taken over most of the planet, and they have a band that's like their primary propaganda band. Although they're not like constantly performing what you would think as propaganda, but just like being used by the monarchy to promote like the messages that they want to promote at that time, plus just doing general music. And there was a plot that there is a drug that, when taken while pregnant, would make the children born also addicted and give them like really excellent musical abilities. So a bunch of the modern day musicians are addicted to this drug, and they have no choice. They're like chemically dependent on it. So that's like the basis of it. And then there was like all of this drama within the group. Obviously there's like different relationships. Like the main guy has been like in a relationship with the princess and stuff like that. So I started writing this story again, but as told through different like media artifacts. So it starts with like a news article, and then it moves into like basically like TikToks, and then there's like lyric analysis and like a music video, that kind of stuff. So I've been using a lot of inspiration from my recent exposure to K-pop, because in the past, I've been like extremely interested in various musicians. Namely, when I was in high school, I was so into Nirvana, and so I watched a lot of interviews and stuff with them. So I feel like I'm pulling from these old things that I'd seen with Nirvana, plus this new stuff with Stray Kids. So it's been really interesting. I love this jacket because it makes me feel like Dana Scully, but I almost can never wear it because it's so fancy. So here's a question. How is my garden looking right now? My garden is looking overgrown. It's been raining way more than it would usually be raining by this time of the year. And it's also not been freezing yet. So my plants are like really growing, and I have like weeds growing up all over the place. So I do need to go out and tend to my garden, but I haven't been very good at it recently. Okay, what's a song that instantly puts me in a creative mood? This is gonna sound so bizarre because I wouldn't expect this, but it's true. Circus by Britney Spears. I feel like there's absolutely a reason why there are so many different fan edits to Circus by Britney Spears. It's like such a good song for like visualizing a character, and like, I don't know, it's so like main character vibes. So yeah, Circus by Britney Spears has been very inspiring. I have to confess something absolutely bizarre. So I'm into F1, right? I think you know this by now. And okay, favorite racers. Let's be real. I think I'm totally in the wrong compared to popular opinion. So I think generally my favorite racer currently and in the last few years has been Carlos Sainz. I think he was absolutely the number one Ferrari driver, and I should have treated him like a number one because he's excellent. He's just got such a racing mind. I love the way that he thinks about racing. You can tell that he's just like extremely adept in his like mental abilities, and also he's an excellent racer. So it's very sad that he's on not as good of a team. But that's like my number one. Number two is probably Max. That's where I think a lot of people would disagree. A lot of people don't like Max. I love Max. He's a born winner. He's one of the best. I don't know. I love people who have a winning, like, I love winners. I love people who are in their minds and hearts winners. I'm less here for an underdog with F1 than I am for just somebody who is a champion. Like, I'm into the champion type people. So with that in mind, my third favorite is Piastri. I love a Piastri. I think he is very similar to Max, has just like a locked in championship mindset, and oh my god, and I love him. Sorry, my cat is playing. Why am I talking about F1? I definitely didn't get a question about F1. Oh, songs that were inspiring. Oh, okay, this is one of my favorite band shirts. This is Mrs. Magician, who is one of my favorite bands, and I got to see them at a very small venue because they're not that big of a band, but I was like obsessed. Love their music so much, have listened to it so much. I knew every single song, and I felt super weird about it because I was like maybe obviously one of their biggest fans in the crowd, and I did not know how to handle myself. I was like way in the far back just because I didn't want to be that weird about it. That was probably a mistake, but I had a great time, regardless. I'm explaining who my favorite racers are because I don't want you to think that I don't want you to think that I'm a loser, because in that number 4 position is George Russell, and you might be asking me, why is that? Because he does not seem to embody anything that I care about. I think he's so funny, and he's kind of hateable, and it like turned around completely for me, where I used to like hate him, and now I find it like weirdly endearing how unlikable he is. And so I was thinking about doing a fan edit of George Russell to the song I Am the Strip Club. It just fit. He got pole last weekend, and the announcer said something about him riding the pole or something like that. It was probably not riding the pole, and I just heard in my head, I heard Iggy Azalea talking about how she's the strip club, and it fit so well in my mind. I had a fully fleshed out, fully edited video of George Russell to I Am the Strip Club in my brain. And so honestly, I feel like I can be really inspired by almost any song, but I will go with Circus. I've also found Addison Rae's album Addison very inspiring. There's so many albums that I am like really, really so into. One of them that I love, and I don't know what happened to this band, or I don't even know that much about them, but Candy Pants, the album Candy Pants is like top tier, one of my favorite albums of all time. I could listen to it forever. Okay, what author do you trust enough to read anything they write? I have a few authors that I really, really connect with their writing regardless. Karen Russell, so far I've enjoyed everything she's written, even if like it's kind of dark and like uncomfortable and maybe I don't like the themes a ton, I still love her writing and I will enjoy myself. So Karen Russell, dude, stop eating my clothes. Stop. God. Just fucking chews on everything. You don't even know how many things he's chewed through. I have a few socks that I left out here that he's chewed through. So I think I'd say Karen Russell. I want to also say Kurt Vonnegut, but I do have God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater that I've had half read. I haven't finished reading it still for like half of this year. What's a movie or show that nails the kind of storytelling you love in books? I mentioned this in my vlog recently. The movie Event Horizon. I didn't mention it while I was vlogging, but then I thought about it a little bit later. That has really a similar vibe to Solaris, except like it's also a little weird and different. I feel like that movie has a similar level of like symbolism, but also like discussion. And we know how I love having discussions about themes. And I feel like that movie definitely decides to talk about evil. Event Horizon, I think if that was a book, I would really enjoy it. I'm gonna start wrapping things up. I am definitely getting to the point where I'm sick of doing this. Like the laundry folding and stuff. So I wanted to share what my super mix was this morning while I was doing my makeup and stuff. So first we have Up All Night by Viagra Boys. I love Viagra Boys. I am actually pretty bummed out that while I'm at this conference at the end of the month, Viagra Boys is coming on tour near me. I have seen them before, but when I saw them, they were opening for Queens of the Stone Age, which that's definitely the last Queens of the Stone Age show that I'm going to go to because I really did not enjoy their newer music. I think Like Clockwork is an excellent album. I think that's one of the best albums ever. So Like Clockwork is really good. I got to see them for that tour. I've seen them 3 times and I've seen Eagles of Death Metal with Josh Homme playing drums once. I don't know why, I'm just bragging at this point. Anyway, I loved seeing Viagra Boys. Then we have YAAM by Marie Davidson. Marie Davidson makes really interesting music. So her album, City of Clowns, is very good. I highly recommend Marie Davidson. I don't know anything about her, but really love the music. Then Mayday by Idols. I also really do like Idols music. Never Fight a Man with a Perm is an absolute banger. I have The Change by Teen Mortgage. Don't know anything about Teen Mortgage, but I do like some of their music. Throw It Back by DBBD. Noid by Tyler, the Creator. I have no idea how to say this, but I love Ethiopian jazz. It's one of my favorite genres of all time. If I could get a book recommendation that is Ethiopian jazz, I would eat it up so much. So it's Meteche Dershe by Mulatu Atstake? A song by Brutalismus 3000 that I also love. This is Die Liebe kommt nicht aus Berlin. They're Cheap, I'm Free by Skating Polly. Skating Polly is just so fun. They lighten my true inner grunge spirits. Leafy by Dry Cleaning, which is what was playing when I came in. Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath. I am so into like Rico Nasty, Tyler, the Creator, probably some other people as well, sampling Black Sabbath in their music. That's like one of my favorite little nuggets, is getting samples of Black Sabbath and other genres. Then we have like Kelly 47, who I also really love, MCRT and Horse Girl, My Barn, My Rules. Love Horse Girl, love MCRT. Then Soft Play, obviously I'd seen them recently. Doja Cat, Augur, I'm That Guy. Girl. Yes. I love this song. So I feel like you can kind of get a little sense of the vibe. Sometimes it's hyper pop, sometimes it's punk, and sometimes it's rap. But I feel like everything, regardless, is gonna be high energy, usually. Oh yeah, and dance as well. So that's me. I am gonna fold for the rest of my life. But no, actually I am going to either listen to music or watch Stray Kids videos. So that's my vibe. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more videos like this, I would love to get like questions. So I will treat the comments of this video like a Q&A opportunity. If you have any questions for me, you can put them in there, and maybe I can actually do like a real Q&A and not do a totally made up one where I just talk about the things that I wanted to talk about that aren't books, including a little bit of stuff that is books. Thank you for watching. If this is the first time that you're here, it's a little bit of a weird one. So if you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it with a friend. If you liked it, consider liking the video and subscribing, and I will be back again soon.